years in Amsterdam had brought comfort and stability to the Frank family, but as Anne grew, so too did the tensions across Europe. The echoes of war that once seemed far away were now drawing closer. The Frank family's peaceful life was about to face its greatest test. In the late 1930s, Amsterdam was alive with laughter and life. Anne attended school, played with her friends, and filled her days with stories and imagination. To her, the world felt safe once again. Yet Otto and Edith followed the news with increasing concern. Germany's aggression was growing. Each headline seemed to darken the horizon just a little more. 1938 brought unsettling news. Jewish families fleeing Austria and Germany began arriving in Amsterdam. They spoke of new laws, lost jobs, and lives uprooted overnight. Anne listened quietly as her parents discussed these stories at the dinner table. Though she didn't fully understand, she sensed the fear in their voices. The world outside was changing faster than she could ever imagine. One night, Otto received a letter from relatives in Germany describing the violence of Kristallnacht. Synagogues burned, shops destroyed, and thousands arrested. The Franks knew then that returning home would never be possible. Otto, ever the planner, began exploring options for moving the family again, perhaps to England or even America. No other country has opened its doors easily. On September 1st, 1939, Anne woke up to the sound of radio. Germany had invaded Poland. Within days, war was declared across Europe. The Netherlands tried to remain neutral as it had in the First World War. Otto hoped that neutrality would protect them, but in his heart, he knew that peace was fragile. Even as war raged elsewhere, life in Amsterdam continued for a time. Anne still went to school, read books, and wrote letters to her grandmother. The street remained bright, though filled with whispers and worry. Everyone hoped the Netherlands would stay safe, untouched by spreading war. But beneath the surface, fear was growing like a quiet storm. In May 1940, the skies above Amsterdam roared with airplanes. German forces invaded the Netherlands. Bombs fell, buildings burned, and panic swept through the city. Otto held his daughters close as news spread that Rotterdam had been destroyed. Within days, the Dutch army surrendered. The occupation had begun. At first, life seemed to continue as usual. The Franks tried to keep their routine. But soon, restrictions appeared. Jewish people could no longer own businesses, attend certain schools, or even visit public places. Anne asked questions. Why can't I go to the park anymore? Edith and Otto tried to answer gently, shielding her from the harsh truth. But Anne understood more than they realized. Otto worked tirelessly to keep his company running, transferring it under trusted non-Jewish colleagues. Edith stayed strong for her daughters, though worry often clouded her eyes. Margot studied quietly while Anne poured her emotions into stories and daydreams. The Franks were determined to live with dignity even under oppression. With each evening, they gathered together a small island of warmth in a sea of fear. By 1941, Jewish children like Anne were forced to attend separate schools. Yellow stars appeared on coats marking those who were different. Anne still smiled, still dreamed, but something inside her had changed. An early understanding the world could be both beautiful and cruel. Otto began preparing quietly, knowing a time might come when they would need to disappear altogether. The Franks had left Frankfurt to escape fear, but as the shadow of war spread across Europe, fear had followed them to Amsterdam. Yet with their small home, hope still flickered, in laughter, in love, in the pages Anne filled with dreams. For even as war clouds gathered, the light of one young girl's spirit refused to fade.